Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Katrina.
And welcome to Do It For The Bit, where we've been Chi-Town natives since 99.
Chi-Town natives.
Chi-Town.
Is it Chi-Town or Chi-Town?
I say Chi-Town.
I couldn't tell you because we're not actually.
What?
This story is about Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah. Basically, this story.
We've talked about a few mission trips.
Yeah.
We talked about your 6th grade mission trip that I was not on.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do a full episode for that one
because
you were not there.
But you said some stuff about it.
Yeah, how I slept under 2.5 people.
2.5 people.
I slept under a bunk bed.
Under a bunk bed.
Being 12 is funny, isn't it?
Being 12 is a funny age. But you know what also is a funny age? Being 15 in Chicago.
Right. Okay.
And we also, if you want to hear more mission trip stuff, because we did talk about our 8th grade mission trip in New Orleans.
Yes.
And that was a moment.
That was bad. All of that was bad.
It was really funny though.
It was really funny, but all of it was bad.
It was
it's just in case this is like for some reason the first episode you are ever listening to, some background
context.
I was raised Southern Baptist, ages 0 to 18.
And I was raised Catholic, ages 0 to like 12.
And then she was always hanging out with me and our friend Erica, who were Southern Baptists. And Laura never wanted to be excluded.
I have medical grade FOMO.
Yeah, it's bad. It's terminal, actually.
So
Laura would go to all of our church's stuff.
And then I kind of was just a little Baptist for a while.
A little bit Baptist for a while, so that's fun.
Because I was like, man, there's so much stuff going on. I really just wanted, like, things to do. Like, well,
that's the thing.
I wanted, like, community, and then I was like, oh, man, it's community, and all I gotta do is, like, some Jesus.
Shit, I want things to do with my friends.
I guess I'll just do this stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, community and you know what, like, whenever you're, like, an edgy teenager and you just go through your Southern Baptist phase?
Yeah, as your rebellion phase.
Yeah.
Because, some people are, like, drinking. Some people are, like, partying. Some people are, like, going out on dates and stuff. We were learning the Lord's Word.
We were learning the Lord's Word.
We were deep in that Bible. We were learning verses.
Yeah.
We were teaching younger kids.
We willingly went to extra church just to hang out more. So we did
like
Sunday morning, and then Sunday night we would also be like, let's do more church. Church. But it was more that I wanted to share a meal and hang out with my friends.
And you know what? That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. It's like, damn, food and activities, I'm there.
I just wanted to catch a motherfucking bite.
We did.
And I did. But I did have to do some other stuff. I did have to do some, like, homework and whatever. But so how, like, mission trips worked is there was extra church on Sunday evening, right when you're supposed to be cramming and finishing all your homework for the week that you didn't do over the weekend.
Yep.
You are instead with your besties
doing Jesus homework.
Doing Jesus homework.
Yeah.
And so you do a what was it? Life groups?
Life groups.
You do life groups, which is like a Bible study.
Yeah.
And you learn about the Bible. You learn stuff.
You had like a week-long lesson that you're supposed to do daily. And
we did not do daily.
No, we would do it on the car ride to our life group
mission
meeting.
Trip. No, 2 life groups, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'd have a verse that we'd have to memorize every week, and we did not memorize it. Or maybe the other girls did. I never did. And I would always do my interpretation of the verse, which got me in trouble weekly. So, I called it KIV.
KIV, Katrina International Version.
And they don't accept nor recognize that, which that's fine. That makes sense that makes sense for your doctrine.
But to my doctrine,
in my temple, my body,
because I don't know. I will say I think there is something beautiful in that, because it's like you're interpreting it and how you would apply it to life. You know?
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
how I would verbally say it. And they're like, okay, you can't memorize something and then just like rephrase it and send it back to me. That's not memorizing. And I was like, it's paraphrasing.
It's paraphrasing.
If I get the memo, then what's the big deal?
It's like it's you get it.
You get it.
You get it. You understand where I'm coming from.
I know where Jesus is coming from, and that's what matters.
And that's important. And honestly, TBH, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather know where Jesus was coming from than have someone know it perfectly correct, but like they don't practice it themselves.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy in the church is astounding.
Ugh,
Anyways,
truly.
we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about what we did after life groups, which is mission trips.
Can I just say one thing? I think I'm thinking about it, like our parents were so on it. Like, we never partied in high school, and it's because we were so damn busy with community activities.
Yeah, at church.
Girl Scouts, church, sports. We didn't have time to party, nor the knowledge, nor the people.
Nor like the cool factor. Because don't get me wrong, we were friends with everybody. Like, we were pretty chill with everyone.
We were not judging, but we were just not invited.
Yeah, no one was like, hey, you seem pretty ill, let's go party.
Yeah, we never got that.
Yeah. It's so funny, high school. We should make a high school episode.
Isn't that every episode?
No.
Well, okay. The other thing is, I was thinking about this, because whenever my boyfriend talks about high school, he's like talking about like parties and like drinking, and I'm like, I don't even know if anyone in our high school, I'm sure they did, there was no big parties. There would just be like parties of just the cool kids, which would be like 20 people total that they would just like do themselves, or like parties of like 10.
Mm-hmm. It was never no Project X moment.
No, there's no Project X.
But God, that would be, if there was and I missed it, I would be real sad.
Yeah. Anyways.
We need to bring back house parties.
We do need to bring back, that's actually an epidemic.
Hey guys, if you're in Austin and you're having a house party soon, let us know.
and let it be like, I want it to be like that house party in Superbad where that fight breaks out because that someone's girlfriend has her period.
Oh, and she bleeds on someone?
On Jonah Hill's.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, leg. Yeah. I want the house party to be like that. I want it to be weird, and I want to get Michael Cera into a room and make him sing. That's what I want. I
want everyone to be slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I want the cops to be called, and I want one fight.
One fight.
And I want everyone to be mixed ages.
So if you're throwing that kind of party soon, let us know.
Please invite us.
We might come.
We might come and catch a freaking vibe.
Catch a motherfucking vibe.
Yeah.
So anyways,
yes. So whenever you do this Bible study, if you do it well and you like keep up with all your work, you get to go on mission trip in the summer.
Mm-hmm. And so there were different like places every single year because it's like, you got to build up to it.
Yeah.
So this was our 9th grade mission trip, and we went to Chicago, Chi-Town.
Now, if you think of like, that you go on a mission trip to Chicago, which areas of Chicago obviously need a lot of help.
Yeah.
As do most major cities. There's an area.
Almost any city needs help.
Every city, there's like a section that really needs help. Chicago's one that's pretty famous, though, and used in a lot of examples.
Yeah.
Let it be known, this mission trip was not to that area at all. They did not send a plane full of 15 fucking year olds.
Mostly white
15-year-olds equipped with the word of God. What is it? The word is my sword.
The shield.
The shield.
The shield and the sword.
Which one's the sword?
I don't know.
Are they both the word?
The spirit?
I don't know.
The spirit's your sword, the word is your shield.
Equipped it with the Bible to
this area of Chicago.
I really wanted to say Chirac. I know that's not.
No.
I know.
No.
Anyways, let it be known, we were not going to the projects.
we were just in a different place.
We weren't even in Chicago.
We were
in a suburb of Chicago.
And it was a very well-off area. It was an
affluent area. And we were kind of like, I was asking, why the fuck why are we here? Why did we buy plane tickets to go to this city just to go to the nicest suburb outside of Chicago?
Because we could have just stayed in Houston. Again, Houston is huge. Houston is big. We could have done
helped out literally any of our neighbors in Houston.
But instead they're like, we're gonna go all the way to Chicago.
And that's the thing that's always the shitty thing about mission trips. It's it's just at the end of the day, people hear the word trip and they're on board.
They're like, we get to go somewhere?
We are no different because we're like, shit, I want to go to Chicago.
I've never been to Chicago.
That sounds fun. It didn't have a lot to do with I want to go to Chicago because I think the people of Chicago need more Jesus. No.
That was not the first thought in my head.
That was not the first thought in my head.
It was, I get to go to Chicago with my friends.
And my parents won't be there.
Yes, please.
It would just be me and my friends in a van and sleeping somewhere.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And also it's just, it's also just this giant mixed gendered
you get to hang out with boys.
You get to hang out with boys. So that's like, it's like all around very enticing for a 15-year-old who does not party.
Who does not party, does not date, and gets super nervous whenever you have to talk to another guy. Like, whenever you have to talk to a guy.
It is like in like the fan fiction world, like this is forced proximity.
It's the forced proximity.
It's the forced proximity as a 15-year-old who is just so nervous and horny.
And you don't know what to do with it because you don't know what that is.
You don't know what to do.
You're like, I don't know what this feeling is.
What is this feeling so sudden and new? That's wicked. Coming this summer. That's wicked. But yeah, so, and then there was also, every mission trip, there was an element of like, and you know, on like Wednesday, we're going to do our fun day. And like, they would take us to somewhere in the city. So like, it really was just a fucking vacation with forced proximity to a bunch of dudes.
Who also were on fire for Jesus. Hello.
Well, not all of them. A lot of them were also just there because they wanted to go on a trip. I don't know if anyone was there with a lot of genuine... Well, no, there were some girlies that, like, I was like, oh, you are on fire for Jesus and that's why you're here.
Who? We can cut this.
Erica?
Yeah.
That's where it stops.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a sleepaway trip with a bunch of boys.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So we fly out.
This is the first one where we're get to go on a plane. And that's also super exciting.
And it's also our freshman one. So it's the one that happens in the summer between freshman year and sophomore year. So that's why you get to do it, because you're in high school now. You're officially like, you're in high school. You're you're more grown up.
Yeah, the logistics of sending junior high kids on a plane was never great.
A little bit rough, but 15-year-olds, you're kind of like,
yeah,
you got 10 years till your brain's fully developed instead of 11, so it's a little bit better.
So you can put like 40, 50 of them on a plane.
Oh, and we always did Southwest, and so it was always just a free-for-all.
Yeah. Also, we were going away for a week, so everyone was like having to get their bags weighed, and I remember there's multiple girls who, like, in the airport, like, they were just pulling shit out of their bag, like trying, they're like, can you please put this in your bag? And it was like, oh my god,
my girl.
And it's just like, can you please Rachel,
show me to me, please.
And it's like, can you put my sleeping, that's the other thing,
you have to bring towels, bedding,
because on mission trips we're not staying in hotels or hostels or anything like that. We slept on the floor of some rinky-dink college. Like
this one, yeah, it was a seminary?
I don't know.
Or was it a church? I think it was a church.
No, it wasn't a church. It was a college. Because they remember that giant-ass basketball court where we got yelled at?
Yeah. Why did we get yelled at? I know we got yelled at, but why? We'll get to that. But anyway, in this place, because it was Chicago in the summer, it was so cold at night. We were like in a basement, I think.
Yes.
And it was freezing at night.
We were in the basement of this rinky-dink nothing burger college, and was sleeping on the cold
concrete floor,
suffering needlessly.
And now we're on trips. We're on vacation now.
Yes. So you had to pack something
to sleep on.
So that took up a lot of room in your luggage.
And you also had to bring out your towel because, hello.
Yeah, there's no linen closet in the basement of this college. And we shared a bathroom with the boys, but they would like switch between when it was boy bathroom and when it was, because we were basically sleeping next to a locker room. Yeah. Like the boys were sleeping in the wrestling room, so at least the floor had a mat on it.
Comforting a little bit.
We were in a classroom. So
we were in the classroom.
Just so terrible.
Dude, I just remember like walking around from the bathroom like in my towel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like in my towel. And like the boys are right over there. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
because the boys in the wrestling room, they had a big windows.
So the boys' room could see out into the hallway, so they could like see if you were like in a towel walking back to our classroom to sleep on the fucking floor.
But I remember they did the boys first, that way like they could close the windows after that. But then one time they didn't close the windows, and I was, because I had curtains, one time they didn't, and I was like, I wonder if like Forrest is gonna see me.
See, that is just like the funniest thing. It's like you sent these people on mission trips and you expect us not to be horny.
Hello.
And confused and pathetic and sad. Anyways.
Also, yes, anyways. So we get on the plane. We get to Chicago.
Yeah.
We get to this school.
No, they take us to get deep dish pizza first, right after we got off the plane. And whenever you get off a plane, I'm sorry, you're just like you are barely a person, you are mainly farts. And then to take a person, like
that's you. That's a you thing.
You take 50 children who are like tired after being on a plane. Everyone's got a headache, and then everyone's like gassy.
That is a you thing.
You keep on saying that's a you thing, but I really remember someone saying "excuse me" a lot, and I'm not gonna point any fingers.
I don't remember this at all.
I remember this. Anyways, you sent a bunch of gassy 15-year-olds with headaches who've just gotten off a plane, and you're like, okay guys, we're taking you for deep dish pizza. And it's just like, that's
sure
gross. That is a gross evening. And
also, deep dish pizza, not good.
I know people have talked about pizza to fucking death on the internet, but let our opinion be known.
Let it be the correct one,
and
because
let it be the
is.
correct one. Deep dish pizza is fucking gross.
Not good.
I don't get it.
I don't want to eat a pizza like a lasagna. Like, what the fuck is that?
And the one of them that they ordered, it had like slices of sausage as one of the layers.
Yeah, it was like, and it was thick sausage. That's not pizza.
There was just discs.
That's casserole.
It was
That's not right.
It was closer to a breakfast casserole than it was a pizza. And it was so gross. And it had this sheet of just thick cheese underneath the sauce and the like discs of meat.
Thick cheese.
No, let me talk about it, because I had 3 bites of it and I was like, I'm done. I'll just starve, because this feels like cement in my tummy and I would like to be out of here, please.
See, my thing with it is that I did not like it.
And that's our official take.
Literally, all right, deep dish pizza is number 2. Everything else is tied for first.
Congrats to Chicago Deep Dish Pizza for being the second
place
best
winner.
Second best type of pizza. Everyone else is tied for first. Anyways. So that was what we did the first night. Then we went to the fuck-ass college, or whatever.
Whatever it's called. I got my degree from FA's University. Fuck-ass University.
I got my degree from fuck-ass seminary.
So we put our stuff down, we go to the gym, right? And this is where we're going to decide what kind of work we're doing for the week.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out, I think it was a sports camp. Yeah. It was helping at the actual seminary itself and like helping kind of like keep the grounds.
Uh-huh.
Or something else.
And okay. So the people, the adults, the establishment, they're onto us. They figured out that we want to be on mission trips to hang out with our friends and not to
spread the word of the Lord.
And that's the other thing. This whole mission trip, we were just doing like kind of like free labor. But not in like any sort of God-serving way. Like there was zero God tie-in to what we were being asked to do.
Like I personally, spoiler alert, I was working on the grounds for the seminary.
Yeah.
And I was just hanging out with everyone else that I already knew there. Like it was just everyone we knew.
You were just doing yard work.
We were just doing yard work, but in a different place in the United States, and that's it.
Like what? What is this system? And so why are you getting mad at us? Like we're not making this about the Lord. When you put 50 15-year-olds on a plane on a Southwest flight and said, go serve the Lord.
In Chicago,
your 2 options are...
There are 3 options.
Or whatever the third one is. And your options are to help run a...
I think it was a summer camp, but a different summer camp.
Who cares?
I think it was like...
None of them were Christ related at all, or really like having conversations with people who could seek the Lord or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they got mad at us for like not being about the Lord for this trip, this vacation they put us on that had volunteer work involved. Anyways, so they are on to us and they're like, I need everyone to like pray.
Yes, I
for like 30 minutes.
And really think
about
what the Lord is calling you to do.
What is God calling you to do on this mission trip? And that's what you need to do. And then he was very adamant. He was like, and I don't think that God is telling you to pick the van and the location that all of your friends are in. I think God wants you to be challenged and is pulling you in a different direction.
And he kind of ate with that one. Ow.
No, he didn't. That guy's so full of shit. I don't like that guy.
He kind of ate with that one.
Anyways, I mean, he was right. We were all just like, my preference is to do a bunch of volunteer work with my friends, and I don't think God really has a vote on this.
Sorry. But anyways, so
we prayed for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was silent. It was silent in that gym.
Just 15-year-olds in a gym.
Silently praying about what job to do for the next week. And I ended up doing the yard work.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
And I don't know what happened. I genuinely, looking back at this, I don't know how I ended up alone.
I don't know why you chose that one. God was calling you, sorry.
Period.
Sorry. I got confused.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why I ended up in that one. I think it was the way the vans were, because we've just talked about this in our New Orleans one, but basically you get put in a van, and that is like the people you see the entire week.
That's how you get anywhere.
That's how you get anywhere, and that's like who you work with that whole week. Mm-hmm. I think yes, I remember this now. What it was that there was not enough room in the inn. In the yard work, in the inn.
There's not enough room in the inn.
I was Mary. There was not enough room in the yard work van, and I think I got over there like last. And I was like, you know what? It's like fine. I was feeling real sacrificial because I'm a fucking Christian.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? And then one of the things that was like, be last. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that was like something we learned at U-Turn.
Yeah, it was be last. Like you know what? Like
this isn't about
me. I'll be last. I don't need to be first. I'll be last.
And I was like, I went over to this other van that was doing the sports camp. Well, all of my friends were at doing the yard work for the week. And may I just say,
Erica wasn't doing yard work.
Oh, did Erica pick?
She did the other one
too? So Erica, actually was probably like called to do the other one because I think they were working with children.
I think they were working with kids. It was like Erica, a preschool or something.
Yeah, and Erica was like genuinely really good at that. So I think Erica genuinely chose that. Mm-hmm. Me personally, with my skill set, I would have loved to do some physical labor and yard work for a week with my besties.
How fun.
That would have been actually really cool.
It was great. It was awesome.
So that's not what happened though. Instead, I ended up in the cool kids
sports camp,
like the cool kids van, which were all of the like most worst behaved like evil children on this mission trip. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happened to me in New Orleans a little bit too, where I was just around like,
but we were in that one together.
We were at least together. I was alone with horrible people for a week. And okay. The other thing is, I think there was this need, I personally felt, I won't speak for you. There was this need to impress, like, the adults in church, kind of, and I thought it was very impressive how sacrificial me, Erica, and Laura, and an iconic trio had broken up and spread out for the week because God called us to challenge ourselves and not be stuck together at the hip.
And who are we to deny the Lord?
Yeah. When in reality, it had nothing to do with the Lord. It was just that we were trying to impress these adults who had instilled shame in us and were pressuring us to, like, not be with our friends or whatever. Anyways, so I end up in this van with, we're going to call her Shelly.
We've talked about her on this podcast before.
Because she's routinely been
reoccurring character.
Massive troublemaker. And I was in a van with her and, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these boys with the, like, swoopy Bieber cut.
Mm-hmm. And mind you, this is 2015. That's hot.
Yeah.
Like, that's
That's
like the mullet
stuff.
Of this generation.
That's the mullet of this now.
It's the I was gonna say the booby cut. I meant the swoopy Bieber cut.
It was, so I'm in a van with swoopy Biebers, or like whatever, because it's 2015, so we're a little past that, but just barely. Whatever the hot boy equivalent hair, I'm with those people, and those people tended to be like some of the most evil boys on the planet.
Yeah, they weren't nice guys.
Like, everyone had a crush on one with like that had swoopy Bieber hair. Mm-hmm. Everyone did.
What was his name? What did we call him last time? Tanner?
Something. I don't remember.
We've talked about these people before.
We've talked about these people before because they were equally as awful.
They didn't grow up.
They did not get any better over one summer.
Would you believe that from freshman year, like summer between freshman year to summer between like freshman sophomore year, they didn't
zero growth. If anything,
I guess over freshman year they didn't. Yeah, they didn't grow.
They got worse, if anything. So everyone had a crush on someone who had swoopy Bieber hair, but can everyone agree that we've never, like, did anyone know a swoopy Bieber hair boy in junior high that was a nice person at the time? I can't think of any.
I'm genuinely running through all the guys I knew in like middle school,
and all of them were terrible at the time.
They all knew nice they were hot shit.
They knew they were hot for. There's something so sick and twisted about a junior high boy who knows he's cute.
It's frustrating. High school, freshman high school.
Freshman high school, too. It starts in junior high, and it's for us and our generation and our age. It was the Bieber cut in junior high, and then
with the all neon
Under Armour.
Like Under Armour.
Like with Under Armour shirt, whatever basketball shorts, and then Nike socks.
The elites pulled up.
Ooh. Up. Fire. Anyways, those people... they only get worse. I think maybe in college they become better. They have the potential to become like humans that develop empathy.
But it's like 50-50. It's a toss up.
It's 50-50 toss up, but that happens in college, not even freshman year. It's got to be sophomore year.
Minimum
for these guys in particular. The Bieber swoopy cuts, white boys, suburban guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, empathy happens around 21. Anyways.
And it's like, that's like, yeah, like...
And it's still a toss-up.
But they're evil.
So this van that I've put myself in, willingly, we got to choose our groups. And I somehow did not end up in a van with one friend. I am with the swoopy Bieber evil boys and the girls who fucking entertained them for years to make them as evil as they were.
Yeah.
And they give them all the attention and like laugh like crazy as if they were funny.
They're not funny.
Let's
be real. If you were one of those guys growing up, I'm gonna be honest, you were not funny. Maybe you are now, and I love the growth for you. But I'm gonna be honest, you weren't back then.
All y'all did was just make fun of other people and then laugh together.
And then moan at inappropriate moments.
Yeah, that's what y'all would do. Y'all be in the back of the classroom going, oh yeah, and then everyone would lose their shit. And I would just be like, God, I can't believe I have a crush on that guy. God damn it.
But you wouldn't laugh. You wouldn't entertain
No, I wouldn't entertain it. Because we were better than that.
We're classy ladies.
Not classy enough to not have crushes on these evil boys.
But classy enough to not entertain.
Exactly. And that's why we never got their attention. Anyways.
But it is funny because, like, you describing this, it's kind of like you're, like, in, like, the Sahara, right? You know what I mean? Like,
this is very Mean Girls.
They're, like, exactly. They're, like, the lions and, like, the hyenas and stuff. And you're, like, a little meerkat. And you're, like, I'm going to try to not be seen by anyone.
I was trying my best to be...
Katrina. Meerkat.
Okay. That's one for the books, people. Haha, meerkat. Katrina. I was trying to be very meek and meerkat-like and just be silent and try not to draw any attention to myself, because any attention from these people was not going to be laughing with me. It was going to be at my expense.
It was going to be mean. It was going to be pointed. It was going to be very obvious.
And so, so this group, this van that I'm in for a whole fucking week is these popular girls and these evil Bieber swoopy hair guys.
Evil Bieber boys.
And one other guy who was a dorky guy who got picked on. So in the social pecking order, it seemed that, like, you know whenever a dorky or quiet person
like in like your like middle school class,
in middle school or something, the popular girl like picks them as a pet and they're like, oh my gosh, like, look at my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend.
Or this is my best friend. Like,
this is my best friend.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
we should
go,
like,
best friend.
Sleep over.
Oh my gosh. And like
painful. That hurts.
Evil. And you know what's so frustrating is they would do that and teachers would think, oh my gosh, that's so nice.
They're so sweet.
They're talking to Thomas. No one ever talks to Thomas.
But she is, and that's
this
good.
This stand-up citizen who's like our class president, she's talking to him and saying that that's her friend. But it's just like adults for some reason grow up and forget how evil people worked in high school.
And I don't think that kind of like bullying was in their high school.
Yes, bullying in the 80s used to be very direct.
It used to be like, hey, I'm just gonna call you a slur
and like slam you into a locker. But then bullying became more nuanced and like
passive aggressive
in our age, and it's very fascinating because they would just like pick a person who didn't have the ability to know when someone was messing with them. Someone who was,
or even like,
or
they
they
didn't have like
the confidence to be like I know
alone.
You're messing with me, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Either they couldn't, like, they were on the spectrum and couldn't tell if someone was messing with them because they don't understand someone being ironic or sarcastic, which is fucking evil, or it would be they were just so deathly quiet that they just couldn't get out the words to be like, please leave me alone.
Yeah, stop doing that. You're being a bitch. Stop.
Those were the people I was with in this van for a week. And I could have been on a fucking vacation doing yard work with Laura. Or childcare with Erica. Anyways, so in this social pecking order, I ended up on the same level as the dorky guy. God bless him, he's a good kid. I don't know how else to describe him. But they were picking on him and they were like, hey, like, you should ask out Katrina. I think she likes you. Evil shit. This is the kind of evil shit that only a 15-year-old with Bieber swoopy hair could do. And then the blonde equivalent girl who is just like, oh my gosh, we should like, oh my gosh, I think they'd be cute together.
Y'all should kiss right now.
And then they got in his head and were like, yeah, she likes you. Evil. They got in his head and he was like, you should ask Katrina out. And so then that's not fair to me. So, because once again, I'm trying not to be seen for a whole week, which is tough whenever you're in a passenger van with 8 other 15-year-olds. I'm trying to not be seen nor heard. I was silent for a week. If anything, that was like a really good mission trip because I was like a monastery. Like I was a fucking monk who took a vow of silence just so I didn't get fucking picked on.
You know, like those like Instagram influencers who are like those girls grown up who go to like these retreats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's funny. It's like the circle of life.
It is the circle of life.
Like, you were trying not to be seen, but then they, who did this pain to you, went somewhere so that way they would not be seen or heard, but then they made a whole reel about it.
Yep.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that fucking funny? Yes. And some of these girls grew up to go work in churches and like be youth pastors.
Or like be like teachers.
Or teachers. Or nurses.
Isn't that crazy?
They continued the cycle of bullying and violence, but they're doing it to other people now.
The worst people you know, except for like a very few, are like people who have a lot of power over others' lives. Like nurses and teachers and youth pastors. Like y'all were all most of them, I'm excluding Erica. Hello,
Erica.
Best nurse ever.
Erica, best nurse ever.
Like, everyone else was so mean and like
the meanest people you know became teachers or nurses.
Or youth pastors.
Also, some of the guys I knew who were awful and dumb as rocks became youth pastors. And I was like, I think that maybe you picked that because you didn't want to do anything real. And that is a dunk on youth pastors. I don't like you guys.
And maybe, let's be honest, maybe you peaked in high school.
Yep. And maybe you want to continue getting the attention and admiration and approval of 15-year-old girls. I said it. I don't fucking trust any of you youth pastors. Actually, I'm getting really angry. I don't like youth pastors. None of y'all are valid. I don't like any of y'all. Except for maybe like one.
I'm thinking of one.
I'm thinking
two.
We, between us, like, know maybe
1.5?
1.5 people that we thought were valid youth pastors, and one of them left the church.
That's the 0.5.
Yeah. Okay. And she's much happier now.
Good for her. So, my van. We did yard work Sounds fun. I had a great time. It's like yin and yang, you know what I mean? Like, you can't get the balance.
What a waste.
But what a waste.
But what a waste.
So my van, let me see. I'm trying to think. There was Forrest. Now, let's be honest. If you listen to our New Orleans mission trip podcast, you know that I had a really big crush on this guy named Forrest.
Massive.
And guess who was in my van this time? Oh, baby. It was Forrest.
Can I ask you, did you plan that?
No, but it was just a really happy coincidence.
I think the Lord led that.
It was not fate, it was divine intervention.
Yep. God wanted her crush to be doing yard work with her for a week.
And I mean, hey, like, we're out in nature and we're like a little sweaty and, you know.
Forced proximity,
enemies to lovers, enemies because I was super fun and he was super quiet. So, like, it was just, actually, maybe it'd be like more like grumpy ex sunshine, you know what I mean?
Very grumpy ex sunshine.
So, I was really excited about that. I was like,
conservative ex-liberal.
Conservative. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Conservative ex-liberal. Oh. But anyway, so I was with Forrest. I was with all right, like, all these names are changed, by the way. So if you think, oh, I know these people, no, you don't. Yeah. They're not real. We made them all up.
We made all these names up.
So there's Forrest, then there's Diane.
Yeah. Diane was fun.
Diane was super fun. We went to her quince. Like,
yeah.
I worked. Tight. And then there was I can't remember all of everyone who was there, but it was a pretty good mix of everyone who was pretty cool, pretty quiet. Like, it was a good mix of everyone being comfortable with each other. Yeah. And no one was like...
Everyone was on the same social,
like, no, I wouldn't say that. Like, I wouldn't say, like, everyone was, like, the same. But, like, they were, like, the cool kids who were there.
Oh, you thought you were cooler than some of the people there?
No, I thought other people were cooler than me.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Humble. Be last. Hello.
Be last.
Most humble narcissist you know. But I think for the most part, there was no, like, huge striations. You know what I mean? There wasn't, like, the cool kids and the, like, least cool kids.
There's no evil cool kids that would, like, not fuck with the shyest person there. Yeah. The shyest person there could get out of their shell and have a fun moment with y'all by the end of the week.
Absolutely. We were all vibing. We were all having a great time. Like, I remember one time, Diane and I, so you know the song, it's like, first let me hop out the... We redid that song.
So it was Christian? Okay.
It was like, first let me hop off the mission trip van. I want to serve Jesus, or I want to serve people because God said I can. I've been balling so much something. Oh, wait.
No, you got it.
I got so much wood I could build
me a church.
Yeah, I guess I could build.
Got so much wood I could build me a church.
It was like I'm not joking. Like, that was we had the whole thing out.
Oh, I'm sure you did. That's sickening.
And we sang it a lot. We ate, absolutely. We were divas. Diva down, absolutely. The boots down. In Chicago, we were singing it in the fields, like, as we were, like, picking up weeds and, like
as lame as that sounds now, I would have given anything to be a part of that.
What do you mean
week?
It sounds lame? What are you
First, let me hop out the mission trip van. I don't want to serve people because Jesus said I can't.
I can't.
No, it's okay.
First, yeah. Anyways, it's so, like, we were having a great time, and there was also, like, a lot of, like, fun and silly moments with me and my crush. Like, I got to have such, not sweet, but, like, memorable moments with him.
I think you also, like, had a lot of learning moments.
Yeah, I learned maybe I am not very good at flirting.
I also learned this about Laura, because secondhand I was horrified. I was like, you did what?
So there I am, right? We're working in the fields. We're cleaning up whatever. I don't remember. But we were like
15-year-olds who've been flown across the country to do yard work for a fuck-ass college.
Yes. And so we're on the mission. We're on, I think, a playground. And I'm wearing a hat backwards because, hello, I'm cool as hell. All right? Excuse me. Cool as heaven. Yeah. So I have my hat backwards and I'm doing my stuff. I'm hanging with Diane. We're laughing. We're giggling. We're like, ee. And then this was whenever, like, necking was a thing. Whenever you would slap someone's like back of their neck, and you'd be like, oh, you just got necked or whatever. I don't remember like what like you said.
I don't know what I think getting necked was
like embarrassing. Or
necking
something.
Means like kissing people's necks. Yeah. Getting necked was getting smacked in the back of the neck.
So it was that. I was not necking. I got necked. But people were like, oh, like get necked, yeah. And I didn't know what that meant. So then I just say like to the ether, I'm like, what does that mean, get necked? And so then my crush Forrest, he like flips off my hat from like behind. Like, so he flips off my hat and then doesn't hit like the back of my neck, but like he like smacks it a little bit. And then he's like, that. Or something like that, right?
Which, okay, her crush is super shy.
Super shy. He's silent.
Listen. The fact that he did this and interacted, that was bold as fuck.
The fact that he spoke to me.
Yeah. Or spoke at all.
The fact that he looked in my direction, spoke at all, and then to me, and then also initiated
physical contact.
We basically went all the way.
Yeah. Like, he was inside you, basically.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the bad guy. Okay. This guy was silent, and even when he was having a good time,
he would laugh like this.
Yep.
He was just silent.
I sometimes I'd be having a conversation with Laura and he was in the vicinity and I couldn't tell if he was in the conversation. I'd say something funny. I'd look over and like to see. I would have to like visually check and see if he was laughing. And I'd look up and he would be like kind of smiling to himself.
Like, that was good.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
So anyway, so he did all this stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, whoa. Well, first of all, I feel disrespected because I turn to him and I say, what the heck? Pick up my hat. And he's like, he looks taken aback. He's like, what? And I'm like, pick up my hat. Like, that was really rude. Like, why did you... This story
is so funny.
Like, why did you take my hat off? Like, pick it up. That was rude. And he, like, awkwardly picks it up. And I think he turns red and then he walks away. Which... in hindsight, he was probably trying to flirt a little bit.
He was 100% flirting with you. And you got so mad at him.
Yeah, because that was disrespectful.
Laura had so much confidence and respect for herself that she could not tell she was being flirted with. And she was like, whoa, pick up my hat.
That was so rude. I will say, love that for me. I know my worth. I know.
And that's why we were single for all of high school.
And now. Now it's just, I don't know, personal choice. Anyways. So.
He's like the most obvious flirt. Like, he initiated. So obvious.
That's not obvious.
He like messed with you. He initiated physical contact. He like that is so fucking obvious. And you were just like, dude.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Pick up my hat.
Pick up my hat.
Pick it up.
What?
So that's funny.
That's so funny. And I have to say, there was just something in high school, Laura, where she just like was not gonna take any shit. And like,
so, and that's it's still the same.
It's still the same, but like, she just wasn't gonna be disrespected, and like, she did not care if it made other people uncomfortable, which really cool. But there was this one time. Probably around the same year, where we were at a Halloween party.
Fun.
It was kind of the first Halloween party we'd been at where like guys were there, and at the end of the party, we were all laying down in this person's living room,
and we were gonna watch The Exorcist.
And we were watching The Exorcist.
And granted, I never seen it before, but here's one thing about me: if I'm watching a movie, if I'm watching a TV show, like. Honest to God, like, shut the fuck up. I'm literally watching a movie. Like, literally, like, unless I've seen it before, why are we talking? I'm watching a movie.
So, that's, like, but this is in high school. It's not like we were in film school yet or anything. Most people watch a movie at a big party with maybe some more casual nature.
I've been a student of cinema since my birth, okay?
And I was going to watch the original Exorcist with full intensity.
And I was like, it's the first time watching this, it's like, it's my first time watching it. I have to give it
Guys, everyone at this high school party, it's Laura's first time watching The Exorcist, so let's be respectful.
And she's a student of cinema, so like, let's...
And she's actually a student of cinema.
Let's be respectful.
Nice. So basically at this party, though, these guys were there, and they were like talking and giggling with this girl that was there during the movie. And Laura, we were all laying down on the floor, and Laura sat straight the fuck up like a goddamn mummy and turned to them and was like, can you guys be quiet? Can y'all please just shut up?
I did not say shut up.
Oh, you said be quiet.
I said, can you please be quiet?
Some of us are trying to watch the movie. Are you seeing a pattern of why we did not attract any interest of boys in high school? We were fucking scary.
I was not going to be disrespected. And I think that's really cool of me.
It was really cool of you, Laura, to at a party tell people to shut up, or excuse me, to be quiet. And it's such a, like, the phrasing was so crazy. Like, this Karen phrasing of just you sitting up, of all these teenagers kind of like lounging, watching The Exorcist. Oh, a scary movie. Like the potential for like cuddling up with someone. And you sit straight as fuck up and say, can y'all be quiet? Some of us are trying to watch the movie. Who would have thought you went on to get a film degree when this is what you were doing at high school parties? Yeah, earlier whenever we were saying, like, we never went to parties, that's what we did when we were at parties.
I was busy. I
was
researching. I was learning. I was studying.
I was looking at the practical effects, the shot. I was looking at the mise en scène. Can y'all be quiet?
But then the thing is, about 5 minutes after I did this, I was snoring.
Laura, she sat up, told these people to be quiet.
Because I'm watching a movie.
Because some of us are trying to watch the movie. Less than 10 minutes later, she is audibly snoring because she has fallen asleep at this party while trying to watch The Exorcist.
So I've never finished The Exorcist.
So she never finished it. But God, if she does, do not interrupt her. She is studying. She is in church, bitch.
That is my temple. That is my Super Bowl Sunday. So, yeah, I'm not going to be disrespected.
So, summation, teenage Laura is not going to be disrespected at all. And that includes any flirtatious contact.
Because, like, why would you do that? Because I didn't think... What was I thinking?
Not clearly.
Because the thing is, right? I didn't think that someone would be flirting with me because I wasn't even thinking about that. You know what I mean?
Humble queen.
Because, like, hello.
Be last.
Be last.
We were in a Christian era.
But also, like, I don't know. I thought flirting would look different.
It never happened to me before, so I got angry.
So I was like...
I didn't understand it, so I got angry. I thought he was just
being annoying. I was like, pick my fucking hat up.
You put my hat on the ground?
On the ground?
Why would that make me like you?
Pick my hat up.
Logical Laura here.
Logical Laura, that's what they called me in high school. But anyways, so I flirted with him, but then he flirted with me, but then earlier this week, I tried to flirt with him.
Yes.
Because while we were on this yard work construction site, somehow Forrest had gotten
a hold of
a long piece of chain. And it was like actual chain.
Like construction chain.
Yeah, not a bike chain, like construction chain. Like you're chaining something together. Mm-hmm. And he thought, I'm going to wear this around my neck because why not?
Yeah.
Because instead of like an actual gold chain, he was like, let me just use a construction chain.
Yeah, because Forrest was like, even though he never spoke, he was a funny guy.
He was kind of funny.
Yeah. He had a great sense of humor. He was a funny guy. That's why Laura liked him. So he's just doing this dumbass visual... Shout out visual humor.
Visual humor is not dead. Okay?
He was doing this dumbass bit where he just didn't talk about it, didn't acknowledge it, was just wearing this giant chain around his neck.
And we thought it was hilarious. And so we're out somewhere. I think we're at Culver's or something.
We're at Culver's.
We're at Culver's. We're getting custard.
We're getting frozen custard and burgers.
And we're playing What Are the Odds?
Oh, yes.
Do y'all remember What Are the Odds?
Y'all remember What Are the Odds?
If you don't remember What Are the Odds, it's where someone says, hey, what are the odds that you go streaking on the street right now? And then you'd be like...
1 out of a million.
And I'd be like, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
27.
I was about to say 27.
Oh, fuck. I would have had to go streaking on the street.
Wait, I didn't because just like 1, 2, 3, go or whatever.
Okay, sorry.
But anyways, so you say a number, and if it's the same number, then that person who said like, oh, it's like out of this and that has to go do the dare.
So it's either me or Erica.
And they know.
Actually, I think it was me.
Either way, I think it was you. Either way, everyone knows that I have a huge crush on Forrest. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's taller than me. Like, he's funny. He's cute. Yeah. He's on fire for Jesus. Like, we should be together.
Yeah. And we all the girlies supported it and knew that you had a crush on him. And we were like, yes, this makes sense to us. 2 tall brunettes. This is awesome.
This is it. And so...
And he's really quiet and you're a yapper.
And that's the thing. I need that dynamic. Yeah. So, what the dare was...
I said, what are the odds that you will... Forrest was sitting in the booth behind us. Mm-hmm. I said, what are the odds that you'll turn around over this booth and try and take Forrest's giant construction chain off of him while singing Nick Jonas's song, Chains?
Because that had just come out, and that was a very popular song.
Nick Jonas had a solo career, and it was honestly kind of bangers. That was Closer and Chains. Those were both good.
That was a great song, Chains.
Yeah.
So...
Try to break the chains with the chains only bring me down. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. So, I'm like, what are the odds? Yeah, of course.
It was 1 out of 15 or something.
I wanted it.
You sicko. You went low. So we did 1, 2, 3... and then we said like 8 or whatever. 7 or 8 or something.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this now. I have to do the dare now. And it took a really long time to get worked up to this. It took so long to get worked up to this. Yeah. But I'm like, okay. Deep breath.
I have to respect the rules of what are the odds. I have to do this dare.
So I turn around real awkwardly. I hunch over. And I try to grab the chain off of him. But the thing is, he's
deathly shy.
He's A, super shy, and B, probably thinks maybe someone's trying to choke him with this chain. And so he just grabs the front of it and holds it super tight.
And doesn't turn around. And doesn't say anything.
He just holds it and looks, and he just looks down at his food.
Freezes.
He's just like holding it. And then meanwhile, I'm trying to take it off of him. And then I'm giving up because he's holding on to it for dear life. While I'm singing in his ear, try to hold the chains, but the chains only bring me down. And he's like...
He won't look her in the eye. Like Laura tries for the chain, realizes he's not going to let go of it, and then, leans down kind of in his face, try to break the chains only bring me down. And I have a video of it.
We just watched it. It is so embarrassing.
He does not look at her once.
Granted, I have never gotten embarrassed. I truly can count on, one hand the amount of times I've actually been embarrassed.
And I think all of them involve him.
That's one of them. That is one of the biggest ones that I'm embarrassed about. Yeah. Because, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, isn't it funny? Isn't there 3? You've been embarrassed maybe 5 times in your life, and 3 of them involve Forrest.
I'm trying to think of the other 2, TBH, would that involve him?
It might be just 3 times that you were embarrassed, and they all involved him. Have you been embarrassed at any other points?
Not really. I do things with my full chest.
Yeah, tell people to be quiet. Some of us are trying to watch a movie at a high school Halloween party.
I know what I'm about.
She knows what she's been a student of cinema since birth, guys.
And you can tattoo that on my low back.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there I am, and then after that, I'm like, oh, let me just kind of try to diffuse the situation. So then I try to slide in next to him, and
he wouldn't move.
No, I do. Then we're playing card games. It was just really awkward after that, though. Yeah. I kind of fumbled that one.
Well, it sounds like actually you fumbled all interactions with him. I don't think you...
I
don't know. Well, then the other one was whenever you found out his political views. Yes.
So we were talking about Harry Potter, as one does in church, because if y'all don't know, in Southern Baptist churches, Harry Potter is frowned down upon.
Well, it's interesting because church at the time, all the youth pastor people, it was run by millennials, so they fucking love Harry Potter, but they're not supposed to. So it's a weird situation.
Because it promotes witchcraft, and witchcraft isn't good, but it's fiction, so just chill out.
Grow the fuck up.
You're good. It's fiction. It's not real. It's a story.
Yeah.
We can get lost in a story. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so he's talking about how he can't watch Harry Potter or something like that. And I don't know how we got on to this topic. Mm-hmm. But then we start talking about something about conservative. Yeah. Something liberal.
Did you say that you liked Harry Potter and then he was like...
No, I don't, because I've never really read it, and I've only seen some of the movies once. I'm very far removed from Harry Potter. But he said something about, like...
Okay, that's a brag. I'm not. I fucks with Harry Potter movies. Anyways.
Fine.
No, it's just, like, you got out of there. Good for
you. I know I'm good.
That's tough. You have a millennial sister. You were high risk.
I know, right? But then he says something about, like, conservative. And I'm like, oh... And I don't really know much politics at this point. But would you believe that less than a year later, I would be on that shit?
Yeah, it was actually really funny because I always remembered Laura as being a very politically active person and, like, just caring about a lot of shit that affects people.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that started when you were 16. And we were 15. And so you did not have anything to say to this guy.
I didn't know what was going on politically, but now I could talk my ear off. But anyways,
yeah.
So he goes, he says something, and I'm like, oh, like, what's a liberal? And he's like, the only thing you need to know. Now, granted, again, he says almost nothing daily. Like, his word allotment was used up in this one sentence for the day.
Yeah.
He said, the one thing you need to know is that something, I don't even remember what he said. He said, conservatives are fine and liberals are from hell. And I was like, oh, okay, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's not good. Now looking back on it, I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
dodged a bullet for that one. Dodged a bullet. Sure.
You worked really hard to dodge that bullet.
I didn't work hard. It just came naturally.
It came naturally, just
naturally.
You just fully matrix dodging all those bullets.
But yeah, it's just who I am. So I learned that about him. Now looking back, glad I learned that. And then the one last thing I want to talk about on this part that I do have a story about is how I earned $20. So here we are in the middle of the forest. We're digging up trenches for the rainwater to, like, be, like, let off so that way it doesn't go, like, get in, like, where it's not supposed to be. That way it has, like, a path to flow.
Mm-hmm. For the Lord.
For the Lord, of course.
But actually just for this fuck-ass college.
Because we're doing yard work.
Yeah.
So we're digging, and we see, like, a lot of earthworms. So, so many earthworms. Like, you know how someone was like, where's all the earthworms? They're at that university. They're at that seminary.
Yeah, they're at fuck-ass
seminary. They're all in that seminary.
Uh-huh.
And I was just, like, joking around. I was like, who would eat a worm, right? Would anyone eat a worm? And I just kept bringing it up. Because I'm just like, someone should eat a worm. Like, would y'all eat a worm for, like, money?
Bitch who wants to eat a worm so bad.
I did. I did. Because I was like, I'm like, guys, would y'all eat a worm for, like, money? Like $20?
Everybody got that bitch in her van who, like, really wants to eat a worm
for money. I'm like, for $5. Would you do it for $5? And so then I just kind of start, like, bidding people and goading people. I'm like, guys, would y'all do it? Would y'all do it for, like, $10? And then finally someone's like, Laura, I'll give you $20 if you eat a worm. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think they just wanted you to be quiet about the worms.
No, everyone was laughing. Trust. This was like a funny moment. You just had to be there.
I'm bitter because I wasn't there.
Yeah. This is projection.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Because everyone's excited now. Because I kept bringing it up and people were like, I do it for money. Like, I do it for money. Like, everyone's like buying into the idea. I'm just the one who's driving the conversation because I'm a Capricorn. Hello.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So I'm driving the conversation. Everyone's excited. Everyone knows that someone is going to eat a worm. And it just so happens that, who is it gonna be? This guy. This guy is gonna eat a worm. Because I had settled on my price, $20. $20 and I'll eat one worm. So we pick up a worm, we wash it off a little bit, we take a machete that we've been whacking stuff with, which honestly in hindsight, that machete was gross. We were whacking like poison ivy and stuff away with it. I could have eaten poison ivy juice. Thank God I didn't. But we cut it in half and I ate it. I swallowed it like a pill and I ate a worm.
Looking back,
you
should not have done that.
I shouldn't have done that because I could have gotten so many parasites. And also I did get like, because we were working like where there's poison ivy and stuff. And so I got like poison ivy on my leg. But it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But like, it was itchy. And I was like,
it's really bad if you ingest poison ivy. That's a really fucky one.
Well, I didn't do that. But it was on the outside. It was on my shin. And I literally, like the next day, I was like, oh my gosh, did I get
a parasite?
I was like, $20 is not going to cover this medical bill. $20 is not going to cover this medical bill that I got when I ate this worm. So, turned out it was just
poison ivy.
Poison ivy.
Thank Gorb.
But I did eat a worm for $20, which is always super funny to say.
In front of your crush, no less.
In front of my crush, no less.
Didn't lead to anything other than $20, but that's okay.
I won money.
He turned it out to be a Wildly conservative. Not a wild conservative. He was very tame conservative.
Very quiet conservative.
Anyways.
The quiet majority, if you will.
Yeah. He was very conservative with his words.
Yes. In all fronts.
Yeah. So that's like really fun.
I had a great time.
You did some yard work and like ate a worm for $20.
But the thing is, like, we'd get back to our, like, where we'd stay for the night, right? Our accommodations, right?
Accommodations at fuck-ass seminary.
And I know my girl.
Laura knows me.
So I would look at her, and I'd see her eyes were a little bit red. And I'd be like, girl, what's going on? You good? Like, you want to talk about your day? Like, here's what I did today. Blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, you would get back and you'd be
I would just tell my stories. And I knew something was bothering her. So I was like, let me just try to brighten her mood a little bit.
By telling her all the fun things I did today.
Because that's what you do. I
ate a worm today. And then, like, we sang, like, this, like, little song. And we, like, sang songs in the car. And then, like, we went and got, like, slushies. And then, yeah, that's, like, what we did today. And then, oh my gosh, I ate a worm for $20.
I did.
So that's what I did today. I hope that makes you feel better, Pookie. Your eyes are really red.
And so I'd be like, are you okay? Like, are you having fun? Like, tell me about, like, what you're doing. And without, like every single day she'd be like, it's allergies. In the most dejected, sad, kicked puppy eye look. It's just allergies. I'm like allergic.
I literally there's pictures of me from this week where I literally, I'm threatening suicide with, like, the little Snapchat, like, bar of text over me. It's, like, a picture of my face, and it says, I hope lightning strikes me and fucking takes me today.
Can I drown in rain?
Is it possible to drown in rain? Like, and there's all these pictures of me where I just look absolutely miserable, devastated. My eyes are like big, wet globes.
They're puffy.
They're so puffy. My eyebrows are permanently turned up where, like, the inside of my eyebrows are, like, pinched up in just pain.
And she's so sad.
I am so sad.
And yet every single day she's like, it's just allergies.
And my friends would tell me about their wonderful day, and they would be like, what's wrong? I remember this one very clearly where Laura was trying to get it out of me, and she was like, your eyes are really red. And I was like, it's just allergies. Unrelated.
Gosh.
I'm gonna go to the shared bathroom really quick and definitely not cry my eyes out.
And then there was one day where this was before I had cracked her finally.
Yeah.
But there's the day before I was like, hey, Katrina, and I took a picture of her.
And I turned around and there's a picture of me. Also,
this was during, like, Parks and Rec was super big, and that was whenever John Ralphio goes, hey, turn that frizz down upside dizzity.
Yeah, she hit me with a John Ralphio.
Turn that frizz down upside dizzity. And she did not.
She took a picture of my devastated face.
It's one of the most melancholy photos.
Like, I've never seen a picture of anyone looking sadder than I do in this picture. Also, it's a weird picture because I was in this era where there's, like, different times in junior high and high school where I had really, really long hair.
It was, like, most of it.
But I'm turned around, so the picture is just my hair reaching the floor, and then just, like, the edge of my face.
Very girl with the pearl earring.
It was giving girl with the pearl earring. You can also see in the picture our accommodations, which were the fuck ass floor,
which was the concrete floor and a sleeping bag if you brought it.
If you brought a sleeping bag. So, yeah, that sounded fun.
I had a great time.
Your little week.
I do hate to brag, but I did have a great time. We've already been over this.
I had a great time in that I got a lot of really funny stories out of it, and I just fucking hate these people.
Yeah. And then, do you want to talk about what we did, like, outside of stuff? Like, outside of working for the Lord, of course?
What did we do?
We went to Wrigley Field, and we watched a Cubs versus White Sox game.
Oh,
which was terrifying.
Oh, my God.
White Sox fans were very mean and scary.
Were we sitting with the White Sox?
No, we were just, it was...
I think we were walking... all the
walking...
Cubs fans were mean, too.
Okay, well, it's Chicago. I don't think everyone's, like, gonna be... I'm sorry if you're from Chicago. We're from Texas. Everyone smiles at each other, and everyone's chill. We got Southern hospitality. That's our bread and butter.
We'd never been, kind of, at least me and Laura, had not been to, like, anywhere outside the South that much, and we did not know that when you make eye contact with people from Chicago, they don't smile back.
At people, maybe they don't appreciate that very much.
I can't tell if they're mad or if they're just choosing not to smile back, and that's their face.
That's probably just who they are.
We couldn't find our seats at a Cubs game, and we asked someone who worked there, and he basically was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like,
Yes.
I'm
15.
I'm 15 and I've never been here before. I don't know where my seats are.
And it was not great.
Anyways, those people were so mean.
But also, so we got to our seats, right? And there's a pole right in front of us.
Yeah.
So, and it was just so funny that, like, of all the seats that we could have been in, we got the one right behind the pole.
Right behind the pole.
And I think, like, on like the this, like, on the ticket, it said, like, best seats in the house. I'm like, I have to disagree.
We
are behind a pole. It's very hard to see the field because there's a pole.
Yeah. But we sat behind this pole, couldn't see the game at all. Everyone was really, all the Cubs fans and White Sox fans were really mean and rude.
They didn't like us, I don't think. But I will say, this was, like, I didn't appreciate it too much because I really started getting into baseball, like, 2016. Like, late 2015, early 20, like, that's when I really started getting into baseball. So, this was, like, right before it. Mm-hmm. But going to, like, Wrigley Field, that's really cool.
It's was Wrigley cool. Field. We went to Wrigley Field. Cool.
That's awesome.
I do remember there was this guy that was with all of us on this mission trip. And he's a very Southern guy. Like, the kind of guy who, like, posts a picture of his gun and his ammunition before a hurricane comes.
That kind of Southern.
But it's like, everyone makes the joke, like, what are you going to do, shoot the hurricane? But he's showing that, so he's like, if you loot my house when my house inevitably floods, I'll fucking kill you.
Which, crazy.
We
don't need to do that.
You don't need to advertise that. If it comes down to it, just do that in quiet.
Like, that's just come on. I don't need to know.
Just, please, put the gun away.
But
he's that kind of Southern.
I do love when people are like, you going to shoot the hurricane? That's always funny.
That's
always funny.
Anyways, that we had one of those in our, Southern Baptist mission trip group, can you believe? And he went to Wrigley Field wearing a poncho, like a Mexican poncho,
and a cowboy
hat, and cowboy boots. And he always had a fucking pocket knife on him.
Because, of course.
So, anyways, thought that was super funny that he chose to do that because he wanted attention for being a Southerner in the North. This guy had never worn that outfit when we were back home. He brought it specifically just to go to Wrigley Field.
Just to poke the bear. Haha. Cubs.
So, I just...
Get it?
I got it, man.
Did you get it, though?
I got it.
Everyone else get it? All right, we can move on now.
Anyways, that was a funny visual. It's like, we're already getting negative attention simply for smiling at strangers, and then we got this fuck-ass guy who's wearing cowboy hat and looks like he's straight out of Red Dead Redemption or whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, Red Dead Redemption. Okay, gamer girl.
Anyways, so...
we got a Red Dead Redemption...
sponsor?
No. Metaphor? Simile? Before we got PS5. You know those memes?
I think you mean...
PS6?
No, I think you mean Grand Theft Auto 6.
There it is.
Or Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes. Gamer girls.
Anyways, so my side, basically I was just miserable every day with these people who were super mean, and I was trying to make sure they didn't make fun of me. I have a very, very specific memory of them listening to E.T. by Katy Perry.
That's a good song.
And there's a line in E.T. where Katy Perry says, fill me with your poison. Obviously, it's a sexual innuendo. And we stopped and got, like, ice cream somewhere on the way to our workplace. And one of the boys spilled some of their vanilla ice cream on their pants.
Oh, no.
And they were all like, oh, my God, it's the poison. It's the poison you gotta fill Katie with. It's the poison. And I was like, I'm 15, and I'm very Christian. And I am so mortified that these Bieber swoopy hair boys are making cum jokes in front of me. And I was like, I want God to smite me now. Don't even take the boys.
I hope I get struck by lightning.
I hope I get struck by lightning and y'all learn a lesson. I hope I change these boys' life forever.
Irreversibly. I gotta say, if I was in your position, I don't think I'd know what they were talking about. I would probably be like, what's that?
you would have been like, what are you guys talking about?
What do you mean it's poison? It's ice cream.
And then you would have been targeted for the rest of the day.
And I probably would not know.
And that was the other thing, is that the thing we were volunteering for was a, like, Christian sports summer camp, but it was basically just a sports summer camp. And there was no, like, Christian element at all. I don't know why did we go on this mission trip? We basically just ran a sports camp in a really wealthy suburb of Chicago for free. Why would they fly us out to do that? But anyways, so then I was with all of these Bieber cut boys and these popular girls, and they were like, I don't know. I was also bad with kids. Also the kids were really close to our age, and it was very John Mulaney. It's just like, you got like a horse to babysit a dog. That's just doesn't make sense. Why is me 15 teaching you 12? You're only 3 years younger than me, and I'm telling you to do drills at this camp. What is happening? Anyways, there's also some athletes that were from another local college that were like actual athletes and like football players that were running this camp. And we were just like, they were super like cool. And I wanted to throw up the amount of anxiety I had, like, because they would like joke with me. I think one of them called me Sticks because of my slender build. So that made me want to kill myself. And they're like, Sticks, why don't you go over there and run like the foot drill or whatever? And I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I'd go run the foot drill for 12-year-olds. And so it's just me, Sticks, telling 12-year-old boys to do this football drill for Jesus. For Jesus. I wanted to die every day. I hated it. I fucking hated it. And then, I don't know why, at the end of this trip, and at the end, it was like Thursday night or something, the main youth pastor guy that came with us sat us down in the gym and like yelled at us so much that he had to send an apology email out to our parents.
Yeah, why was he mad at us?
He was mad at us because there were girls that were in that, because whenever you do life groups, you're supposed to like take the group that you're in and continue with that same group of girls or same group of guys every year by year, like stay with them. And there were some like of these like popular girls who were tired of being in this same life group as
the non-popular
girls, and they wanted to like come together and culminate into one popular girl group. And this, which arguably, like, I totally, like, see why he was so angry. That's such a shitty thing to do, because you're not really supposed to request to leave your life group and change life groups unless there's, like, a real big problem.
Like, there's, like, been an issue.
There's been an issue or an incident with another person, and there wasn't any. These girls just were being mean girls and wanted to be together.
They wanted to have their own clique.
And they were tired of being with the normies or whatever. The losers. AKA this gang. They wanted to be together. And he, like, lost his mind. The way he handled it was obviously super inappropriate, and we were all getting yelled at for something a very small group of people did. And it's like, you should have just talked to them and been like, y'all are ridiculous.
This was the second mission trip in a row where everyone got yelled at for the wrongdoings
of the same exact group that caused shit the years before.
It's like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know what was going on the first time. I didn't know what was going on the second time.
And I'm still getting yelled at and punished.
I'm still getting yelled at. What the heck?
Anyways, this guy, this is why I just, like, yeah, I get so angry thinking about youth pastors. I think there has to be something seriously wrong with you, or that you peaked in high school and that's why you became a youth pastor. With hate to all of the youth pastors out there.
Except our 1.5.
Except for, like, 1.5 youth pastors that we think are valid. Anyways, yeah, with all hate, if you became a youth pastor, I've made assumptions about you, and they are correct, in that you probably peaked in high school. And you forever want the attention and approval of 15, 16-year-old girls. Or guys. I don't discriminate. Girl and guy youth pastors, y'all suck.
Y'all suck. But anyways.
So this is one of the most miserable weeks of my life, but Actually, no, it wasn't in the grand scheme of things. I've had so many way worse.
Yeah.
But up until 2015, I was like, this one's the pits. It was quickly beat in 2016 and 2017 and 2018 and then 2019 and then 2020 and then 2021. 2022, yeah, was the worst. And then 2023,
we up.
And 2024 has been great.
Even more up.
2024 has been my favorite year in a long time.
Yay!
So that's nice. And that's with me quitting my job. So.
The last thing we did in Chicago was we went, we had like a sightseeing tour. Like a sightseeing tour.
Yeah.
We saw the Bean.
Yeah.
We saw the Trump Tower.
Yeah.
When it was cool because it was 2015. So it was like, oh, Donald Trump's just a rich man. And now it's like, oh, he's the worst person ever, actually.
Well, I think we knew Trump was going to run, though, because it was 2015. Yeah. So I remember
I think he was still floating the idea because you don't really...
Yeah. But I don't know. The timeline's funny because I took a picture of the Trump Tower being like... Yeah. Haha, like...
Oh, he's going to run for president. Oh, because he was, like, kind of floating the idea, I think.
You know what? It is funny. 2015, on this trip, you were not political. It makes sense as to why you got political so quickly.
Yes.
And it was because Trump was coming in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we saw the Bean. The one thing that we really did that was pretty cool. We saw we went to the C.S. Lewis house where he wrote Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia.
C.S. Lewis, Christian people's... J.K. Rowling.
Because he wrote Chronicles of Narnia, and honestly...
Famously Christian allegory series, and they bang.
I didn't know that.
Because they're just that good. And normally Christian allegory stories
are, like, so bad. But I mean, hello.
Narnia rules.
Narnia is, like, one of the... Like, such a good movie.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we went to his place, or, like, the museum or whatever.
Saw the wardrobe.
We saw the wardrobe.
The OG.
That inspired it all. Which was very, very cool. Cinema was really excited about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just had like a tour of Chicago. It was great.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That
was about, I mean, that, yeah. So
I got one last thing.
Oh.
One of our favorite bands at the time, 5 Seconds of Summer, released their newest song, She's Kind of Hot. And this was like a really exciting moment for us because we're like, oh my gosh. It's their new album.
5 Seconds of Summer.
We had a huge unhealthy parasocial relationship with them.
I was a Callum and a Luke girl.
And I was a Luke Wing Callum girl.
Yeah.
So
I was originally an Ashton girl whenever this all started, but then I quickly became a Callum Wing Luke.
I think everyone originally started as an Ashton girl.
Yeah, those green eyes.
It's the curly hair.
The green eyes.
It's the smile. It's the dimples.
And then you get to know the other boys' personalities.
And you're like, oh my gosh,
I'm
Luke.
A Callum girl.
See, it made sense for me because Luke was big, tall,
and
quiet.
Yeah. The dynamics of 5 Seconds of Summer are so interesting because their leading man was the least dominant person in that band, and that's why the band survived so long.
Because they humbled him every single day.
He never got a big head. They never let him because he was just constantly being bullied by the others, and it worked. It worked. That's a good dynamic.
They're still together to this day.
Yeah,
good for them.
Good for them.
But anyways, so She's Kind of Hot dropped, and we were all like, guys, gather around. And we pulled out a phone. We pulled out like an iPhone 5, and we're watching it, and we're like, oh yeah, this song is
interesting.
This song is okay. It's good.
And I was already having one of the worst weeks of my 15-year-old life,
and so this was like supposed to like be like
the highlight,
the anchor point of like I can do this. It gives you strength. It's a health
something
point.
To look forward to.
It gives you a heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many video game references. Guys, we're going to play Fortnite.
Unrelated. And so whenever we played that song and we were like, oh, it's
bad.
We didn't want to say it because we were such good, like
big
loyal,
fans.
big fans. We were like, oh, it's bad.
It's not great.
It's not great. And then we were just kind of like, well, I guess we got to wait like another month or so and
see another single.
For a single. Maybe that one will be good. And maybe the rest of the album would be good. And then it was just like, okay.
It was an okay album.
It was fine. I didn't really
like it. It was no Youngblood. Youngblood
was good. But I was no longer a Five Sauce fan, really.
That's an album.
By the time Youngblood came out. And then I was like, oh shit, this is a nice pop album.
That's a perfect album.
It's a perfect pop album.
That is a perfect album. Top to bottom, every single song, it is perfect on every single level.
I know Five Sauce is like not super popular, but listen, 5 Seconds of Summer, Youngblood album, I think you should go listen to it. It is a good summer basic pop album.
It is. I don't even think it's like that basic. Like, it has really nice like guitar. It has nice bass. Like, it's like,
not super complex, but it's
well
good.
done.
It's
the
well
thing
done.
is, like, it's not basic, but it's well done.
Yeah, well
like,
produced.
You know, like, it's a good album.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's something to have like a motherfucking vibe to. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's for catching a fucking vibe. Yeah.
So that was our mission trip stories. I think
that was our mission trip stories. Chicago.
It was very we had very different experiences in Chicago.
Yeah, and
I look back fondly on it.
I don't look back at all. I've tried to forget about it.
And that's just the way it goes sometimes.
That's the way it goes. So we'll post on our Instagram some of these iconic pictures of me being devastated that I'm trapped in a car with popular children.
And me
having a
swell time. A grand old time.
All right, I think that's everything for this week.
All right, well, we'll let you go now. Real southern way to end it, but we'll let you go now. I hope you have a great great day. If you could give us 5 stars, that'd be really helpful, and share this with someone you think who would like it. You know, a little silly little story.
Share this with your friend that you had religious trauma with.
Hey,
or an atheist.
Don't matter.
And
be like, good thing you're not there.
You missed out on some good times.
Or some bad times.
Yeah, bad times.
But anyways, all right, all right, camera's gone. But we'll catch you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.